Go back to Finland.
Wow.
All I know is tell Ryan to bring more of those online super pros. 22-year-old, he puts it all on the line. Spends an hour at the cage getting chips.
What is up, everyone? Alex Duval here, and in this video we're going to take another look at a Hustler Casino Live poker hand. This one occurred last week and just so happened to be the biggest pot in Hustler Casino Live history. As we can see here, $870,000 is what this hand ends up being, nearly $1 million hand. While the size of the pot and the hand itself is very interesting, what happens afterwards is actually more interesting. Before we get into the actual hands, let's give you a little context on the players involved in these hands. We've got Nik Airball, who is a regular on the Hustler Casino live stream. He's an investment banker. He's loud and proud in pretty much every stream that is on Hustler Casino Live. And lastly, he was slightly involved in the Hustler Casino Live cheating scandal as he had dinner with Robbie and Rip the night before the stream. So, not saying he did anything wrong, just saying he's a character in the Hustler Casino Live story arc, and he's becoming more and more of a character. Next up, we have the new kid on the stream. This guy's name is Henry Pustinen, but he goes by the nickname ButtonClickr. He's known as one of the best online heads-up players to date. He's only 22 years old. He got third in the 2021 WSOP 25K heads-up tournament, and he's even known for helping Doug Polk defeat Daniel Negreanu in the Heads Up Challenge. Poker News wrote an article about him, but that's about all we know about him. Before we get into the nearly $1 million hand, let's go over a couple hands ButtonClickr played where he actually ran pretty bad. This is a 3-bet pot where Nik Airball flops a set and ButtonClickr has an overpair. Let's see how this one plays out.
Anyway, they'll never see it coming.
Two flush draws out there now. Two-thirds from ButtonClickr. And what button does Nik Airball now want to click?
That was a great joke.
Seems like a reasonable spot to raise. They're very deep and there are a lot of draws out there.
52.
52,000.
Go back to Finland.
Wow. What a fold from ButtonClickr.
No. Go back to Finland.
Quick fold.
Easy poker in Finland, tough poker in LA. It's true, it's true.
So as we can see, the shit talking has already started. I mean, this is an hour into the stream. I think ButtonClickr got there late, so this is, you know, really pretty soon after ButtonClickr has arrived. And Nik Airball has already started talking shit. So first of all, really good fold by ButtonClickr. I mean, Nik Airball, he could definitely be raising with a flush draw, you know, a pair plus flush draw combo. He could definitely have bluffs here, right? Like, this is not your typical snap fold. Maybe it is for someone who really knows what they're doing, but for most people, they are not snap folding pocket queens here. So bravo to ButtonClickr for making this good fold. And interesting to see Nik Airball just start talking shit already. I mean, obviously, it's in good fun. They're kind of smiling back and forth at each other. It's like, okay, buddy. And it's also kind of interesting to see Bill Klein, the old man, grandpa here in the middle, wave his finger at Nik Airball like, don't do that, right?
What a fold from ButtonClickr.
No.
Look at Bill Klein, he's like, hey, don't do that.
Go back.
Wow. What a fold from ButtonClickr.
No. Go back to Finland.
Nik Airball doesn't give a fuck, he's just like, nah.
Quick fold.
I'll say what I want.
Easy poker in Finland, tough poker in LA. It's true, it's true.
ButtonClickr's like, yeah, okay, guy.
In LA, there's idiots like me.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Great comeback by ButtonClickr. Nice way to kind of smooth things over. And let's go to the next hand. This hand is a 3-bet pot. ButtonClickr 3-bet pre. JR called. ButtonClickr flopped the nuts with a flush draw. The turn is a 9. ButtonClickr bets. JR calls. and let's see what happens on the river.
I'll let you know after I write this.
But a third 9 on the river, and suddenly JR winds up with the best hand with a full house. Going for value here. Seems ambitious, but not ridiculous.
8 of clubs, yeah. That sounds about right.
And ButtonClickr folds his straight.
Another really good fold. I mean, JR only bet half pot, but obviously any pair makes a full house now. So ButtonClickr pretty much snap folds, which is just another good fold and another example of run bad for ButtonClickr.
Easy call.
Annoying run out. ButtonClickr not running good so far.
Next up, we have another hand where this time ButtonClickr is on the good side. He has pocket aces and Double M has pocket kings. But what's not so great is Double M does not 4-bet pre. This is only a 3-bet pot where Double M called the 3-bet by ButtonClickr. With this flop, ButtonClickr bets small and Double M actually raises. ButtonClickr makes a call. The turn comes, Double M bets once again. ButtonClickr just makes a call. And the river is a 6. Double M once again bets for value. And ButtonClickr can't raise because he does not have a 9. Double M could definitely have a 9 or pocket queens. This is really just another situation of ButtonClickr kind of running bad, right? He should have really gotten 4-bet pre, and this hand should have gotten a lot more money in the pot. Instead, he's forced to just make the call on the flop, make the call on the turn, and make the call on the river.
And a snap call on the river.
Where's the 4-bet?
And ButtonClickr wins a $105,000 pot with aces against Double M's kings.
Now I'm shook.
He goes, where's the 4-bet? Like, what the fuck?
Double M raised the flop and bet the turn and river and still
Wait, so the
probably
one
lost
seam
the
now, so it's
minimum.
Next up, we have another hand where once again ButtonClickr does not run so great. He has 7-4 of clubs with a flush draw on this flop, while JR has a better flush draw. The turn comes the 6 of clubs. They both have a flush now. JR bets small. ButtonClickr raises and gets called. This time he does kind of get bailed out with the river coming a club, and action goes check, check.
Is going to
Flush.
bail ButtonClickr out a little bit. JR is going to win $75,000 pot. As
Look at his face.
ButtonClickr gets flush over flush.
River, club, no 4-bet aces, kings, all works out the same.
So obviously he could have ran a lot worse there if the river was not another club, but just another example of the run bad that he's been experiencing. Finally, we go to this hand where Nik Airball flops the nuts, ace king of hearts, basically the nuts. I know some of you will be like, no, straight flush is a nuts. ButtonClickr turned a set, got raised by Nik Airball, and then with this river, ButtonClickr finally runs good for once in a very big pot. He check raises, and to Nik Airball's credit, he does make a very good fold here.
Really not going to have hands better than this very often.
3, 2, 1.
He folds. What a nice fold. A sick hand, a $272,000 pot, heading over to ButtonClickr.
Thank you.
So from this hand, we can see things maybe are starting to turn around for ButtonClickr. That was a massive hand until we get to this hand. The biggest hand in Hustler Casino Live history, which ends up being an almost $1 million pot. Andy is actually away from the table in this hand and ends up calling blind from away from the table. Someone puts $400 into the pot for him.
Andy's going to blind call the 9-4 suited.
Raise would have been better.
ButtonClickr raises on the button with pocket 7s, pretty standard.
Take it. Thanks, Andy.
And a raise from ButtonClickr. Bill makes the call with pocket 9s.
How much do I owe? 8?
Yeah, it's 13.
4 or 8?
No, you're good. You called 4.
Okay, 4.
Did you see what you started?
So Bill makes a call in the small line with pocket nines, also pretty standard. Nik Airball, however, 3 bets from the big blind, 5-4 clubs. Not so standard, but I mean, there's worse hands to do this with, so I don't really mind it. It is suited. It is a suited connector. They are very, very deep. I think it's all good.
And Nick makes it 13K with 5-4 suited.
Andy folds and ButtonClickr makes the call.
Last name? What was your last name?
He's like,
Call from ButtonClickr.
go 13,000.
And Bill comes along as well. So $40,000 already in there. Oh my. Oh my. So a straight for Nik Airball after 3-betting pre-flop and top set for ButtonClickr. And remember, these two played a massive hand earlier with the ace-high flushed against a full house, and they are going to tangle again. So a bet of 20,000 from Nick, and ButtonClickr makes the call.
So, crazy hand, right? ButtonClickr flops top set, which would normally just be the nuts, right? And Nik Airball flops a straight, the nut straight, the nuts.
And now Nick checks.
So if I get to 0 when it's my turn, I'm a hand's dead, Lauren?
No, I'll add on a minute. If you
I don't have
Maybe going for a check raise here.
Can I sell him some?
You look at these stacks, this could be one of the biggest pots we've ever had here on Hustler Casino Live.
45.
45,000.
How amazing would it be if the hand was there right now?
All in.
A shove from Nick. Wow. All in for effectively $350,000.
Call.
And it's a call. And we're going to play an $870,000 pot. This is almost $1 million pot.
Twice confirmed.
With a set against the straight, they're going to run this river twice.
Sure, you got it. Please, Marcus.
Wow. Huge pair of rivers incoming.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. Gonna need it.
Twice confirmed.
So, Bill has fallen asleep in a nearly $1 million pot. This is nothing to him. ButtonClickr has a set. Nik Airball has the nut straight. They're going to be running the river twice. Nik Airball has so far seemed pretty pleasant, has said good luck. ButtonClickr says thanks, I'll need it.
My heart
First
was
one
beating fast.
goes to
Now
Nick.
it's slow.
Nik Airball pulls all of his chips back like, alright, I'm not losing at least.
One time, Lauren. Hold it.
Poor Lauren.
No, I don't know. I'm chopping.
Pressure on her. I can do that if you want.
This guy's shitting his pants.
Bluffing me in the other hand.
You can blame me.
I'll tell you if I lose this one.
And then Nik Airball asks ButtonClickr if he was bluffing in the pocket jacks versus ace king hand. Not something you would typically do when, you know, you're all in with someone for such a large amount of money.
You'll be on your way home after you lose this one,
know.
right?
Wow.
But after ButtonClickr says he'll tell him if he loses this pot, Nik Airball proceeds to kneel him by saying, you'll be on your way home if you lose this one. Kinda out of line, but once again, not like a huge deal, right?
On my bike to Vegas.
Nick needling ButtonClickr in this huge
I like
spot.
all of it.
Greedy.
This is the biggest pot you ever played?
Yeah. One liner K or something?
Here's the second river. Another brick.
Listen.
And Nik Airball wins an $870,000 pot off of ButtonClickr, flopping a straight in a 3-bet pot against top set.
So keep in mind, even though this guy is known as a very good pro, he's 22 years old. And Nik Airball is 26 years old. This is kind of fucking crazy for these guys to be so young playing for these amounts of money, right?
Wow. And that was the biggest pot in Hustler Casino Live history.
As Hustler Casino Live does, they film ButtonClickr packing his shit up and taking the walk home.
Unbelievable. $870,000. And wow, what a first show for ButtonClickr.
Nice hand, Nick.
Wait, so did you bluff me the other hand?
Nik Airball with the wave goodbye.
Nice hand, Nick.
Wait, so did you bluff me the other hand?
And ButtonClickr with the absolute class says, nice hand, Nick. And Nik Airball still wants to know if he was bluffed in the other hand. Instead of letting someone just walk out the door after you stacked them for like $400,000, you must find out if you were bluffed in the other hand. I mean, come on, bro, right? Like, that's a little unnecessary.
No, I had jacks.
Okay.
Fuck.
And it looks like he's going to head out.
I did tell Ryan I would. What did I say, JR, before the game? I said I.
Figure out if it was $1 million pot.
Oh, no, it was less. But I might have said that might have been the
He
record.
had like 350
Thank you
effective.
again, Nick.
How does it feel, man? Just make a 13-3, just flop the nuts, guys.
You guys all,
Second
you all play like nits when the big straddles are on and the big. I'm 13,005 high.
It's gonna be small there.
Certainly
JR.
a memorable
right?
day for
13,005
ButtonClickr.
high.
Nick,
A memorable day for ButtonClickr. Yeah, you could say that.
Andy's calling me an airball right as I make it 13,000 with 5 high. I was like,
Yeah, I
please
think
shut up.
you owe Andy a rebate on that.
With the
He
assist,
called you airball.
400,
Yeah.
and then just called you airball.
Not in the
Yeah,
way
I
he
think
was
you owe
probably
Andy a
hoping, though.
Now, while the hand itself was interesting and kind of crazy, in my opinion, what's more interesting is Nik Airball's reaction and the other players at the table's reaction talking about the hand and about ButtonClickr himself, talking about this man as he leaves.
And Nick now has a stack of over $1 million in front of him.
Now he's gonna go back to the cashier. What do you mean? There's no more going back. He's going home. I'm joking.
Wow. I can't believe what we just saw.
All I know is tell Ryan to bring more of those online super pros.
You hear that, Ryan?
So the shit talking begins as ButtonClickr is no longer at the table. Tell Ryan to bring more of those online super pros. Super pros!
Okay. So here's a look at our leaderboard now. Nick up $400,000. ButtonClickr loses $367,000 and he's gone.
And then he has the gall to tell him, so now you're going to go home if you lose this one,
Yeah,
right? It's like, yeah, I'm going to drive to Vegas.
So basically, a couple hands go by, about 15 to 20 minutes, and the shit talking pursues. And it gets a lot worse.
When we were here early, JR was like, we're 7. I was like, oh no, we're 8. He's like, no, we're 7. Then we found out we were 8, and it was like the online super pro, and like we looked him up, and it says like 3rd best online no limit hold'em player in the world, like whatever craziness. And I was like, man, we gotta just send him on his bike, JR. Like we got to, you know, and we did. Like, there's
He very good player.
I mean, it's not like you winning a nearly $1 million pot and sending this guy home after stacking him is enough. You gotta just shit talk as he is no longer at the table.
Did you see that hand?
Yeah.
No, not good player.
Oh, no, that hand, nothing he can do. But actually, he is a very good player.
Actually, at least this guy is defending him.
Yeah, he's a good player. No.
Good first time.
I'm probably better than him.
Yeah, you are the best.
Like, I think what matters is the results, and I'm the best.
Now, it's obvious Nik Airball is joking, and this is kind of his personality, his attitude. So, on one hand, it's like funny. It's like he's joking, whatever. This is his persona, kind of like Eric Person. But on the other hand, it's like not a great look. It's not very classy, right?
That's all I know.
Check.
Today, Nick is the best.
You're explaining your reasoning in that hand.
No, I'm just saying everything. I just think it's crazy how everything works out perfect for me. Like I do everything wrong, it just works out perfect.
Where is he from? He was from
Finland.
Finland. Yeah, from you telling him to go back to Finland to that, it was like everything from that to that was like this. The whole story was just
Andy chimes in here, which is a little surprising.
Oh, that's a tale as old as time. A 22-year-old, he puts it all on the line, spends an hour at the cage getting chips.
He definitely jerked off in the cage. Let's be real. Like to calm himself down, he definitely did.
Be honest, are you gonna ask Ryan to get the security footage for you?
I already did, bro. I already did. I need to know that slow beat that he just did in the cage for an hour to get ready.
Well, in case you're wondering, when we're ending the session and leaving here, why the cage door is going to be locked for another hour is because I'm taking my turn.
So apparently ButtonClickr took a long time at the cage before arriving at the game, like an hour, I guess, to get the money. Maybe there was an issue with the money. And now you got Double M and Nik Airball chiming in and talking shit about that. Maybe he was jerking off there. I mean, it's funny, I guess. But on the other hand, it's like, come on, right?
Why the cage door is going to be locked for another hour is because I'm taking my turn.
So it's not the best look for Nick and Double M to be talking that way, I don't think, about ButtonClickr after he lost this much money. But I mean, if he's watching this, I would just take it as a sign of respect in a weird way. But there's no way they would say the things they were just saying if they couldn't tell that he was a massively winning player.
I think the commentator here is totally right. If this guy was a whale, if ButtonClickr was a whale and had just lost all of that money, there's no way they would be talking this shit, right? They're just talking this shit because they're kind of insecure about their own game, insecure about their own skill level, and having a guy they know is very good at the table, having stacked that guy, now Nik Airball thinks that it's cool to just talk shit about him because he's a good player. Definitely is not a good look, in my opinion, for Nik Airball or Double M. I mean, to talk shit about someone is never really cool, especially when they're not even present, talking shit behind their back. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, right?
You're talking about Henry, right?
Yeah, I'm saying like we do so.
He looks at it at home and goes, oh.
He came here and he was like, at least 250.
Yeah. No, he pre-ordered the Ferrari.
When we put the 400 on, he was like, all right, 450 minimum. And then when we said round of 8, it was like $1 million.
Permanently? Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to win $1 million today.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see multiple people chime in here, like Andy a little bit, JR doesn't really say anything, but he acknowledges what people are saying. Even Bill there was kind of adding on a little bit, even after defending ButtonClickr in the earlier clip. And then, of course, we got Double M here. The only guy that's really not talking shit, really not involved at all, is the Asian guy right here. I don't know his name. He's in the corner. With that said, you kind of have a group effect here, right? Like, you have one guy in the middle, Nik Airball, being the loud one, talking the loudest, saying the most about ButtonClickr, and it kind of invites other people to just add on. So I kind of understand why this is happening, but don't think it's great.
The last two guys that have flown in to play the game.
Gun spanked?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't fly in and try to come get us. We'll teach you a little lesson, send you on your bike.
Heads up.
I should have given him the Tony G. Started screaming at him. Go back to Finland.
You're a champion. Send you back to Russia. Yeah! Yeah, baby! Come on, Russian, get out. It's time to go. Yeah!
Check is good in? Alright, check.
Yeah, if they thought he was a spot, they would not be saying this. I'm not saying these are good things to say, but yeah, in a way, you can take this stuff as a compliment. It's just part of the weird reality sometimes of being a really good poker player, which ButtonClickr absolutely is.
Like I said, I really agree with the commentator. If ButtonClickr was not a very good player, no way Nik Airball and others would be talking shit. They kind of had this thought in their mind of, okay, this guy is coming to the game. He's very good. We should expect him to try to win all of our money. He thought he was going to win so much money. He was gonna buy a Ferrari after this game, and then I sent him home on his bike, is what Nik Airball says. Kind of fucked up that they're talking shit when he's not there. I get the joking aspect, and I'm sure ButtonClickr can handle it, but I still don't think it looks that great. We go to Twitter after the stream, And Andy says, flying under the radar all the way from Finland, none of us knew that Henry was a heads-up, no-limit hold'em specialist and online poker phenom, aka ButtonClickr. But sometimes none of that shit matters. A random loudmouth named Nik Airball will still cooler him for everything. GG. One part of this statement that I think is interesting by Andy is that he says no one knew that Henry or ButtonClickr was a very good player, basically, right? Except they did. And this is kind of the reason why they were talking shit. So I don't think that's true at all. And we scroll down here, we have someone saying ButtonClickr is a legend. Nik Airball saying was a legend because he lost a lot of money. He's no longer a legend, apparently. And ButtonClickr himself commenting and saying, we'll see about that next Friday, buddy. So he can clearly take the jokes. ButtonClickr can clearly handle himself. He can roll with the punches and comment back. And hopefully we will see ButtonClickr get revenge on Nik Airball in this Friday's game. With that, we take a look at the comments from Reddit. This is where I saw the talk about this situation go on originally. Someone says, flops the nuts and acts like he's a god. Dude had to call with top set. It was a no-brainer. What a sore fucking loser this kid is, referring to Nik Airball. Airball is that guy that ruins every fun game you are playing in as soon as he sits down. Airball is like the whale on Ignition who wins a big pot and then hits you with the laughing emoji. You just can't wait to get your revenge. 3bets 5-6 flops a straight and thinks he's a poker god, just so obnoxious. He's not an entertaining asshole like Persons, he's just an asshole. Glad to see Aaron defending him. Aaron must have been the Asian dude that I didn't know his name. Andy also seemed kind of pissed about them discussing how he played the hand too. Nothing he could have done in that spot, and Clicker didn't tank for 5 minutes knowing he would eventually call. Guy played great, made some huge folds, but just ran into nuts for second nuts against a lag with a monster stack. Yeah, I mean, totally true, right? ButtonClickr made a lot of really good folds. He was put in a lot of annoying situations the entire stream before the big hand happened, as we saw, and he really played well. And Nik Airball just coolered him. It is what it is, you know? The river could have paired the board. They could have chopped the pot. ButtonClickr could have still won. Didn't happen. I mean, sometimes that's how it goes in poker. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this situation. Is Nik Airball in the right? Is he in the wrong? Is it really a big deal? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button for more videos, and peace!